The age-old question that we get from time to time. Am I going to be able to play Camelot Unchained as a casual player or a few hours a week and be able to compete versus that veteran hardcore player? Stay tuned and find out. What's up everyone, it's Swiper, and today I want to talk about a question I hear from time to time. Can I play this game casually and compete versus your typical hardcore player? So, before we dive into this topic, let's take a step back and remember that this game is in Beta 1, and we're still waiting for Beta 2 and Beta 3. So to be fair, we can only go off the information we've been given, whether it be on Camelot Unchained's website, or it's in their weekly wrap-ups. So, with all that being said, let's get back to the question. In my opinion, the only way to answer this question is to look at how progression works. We need to compare the progression system in Camelot Unchained versus your modern MMORPG. In current MMORPGs today, progression is based on obtaining better gear, which in turn gives you higher stats. You also need to level up your character, which also increases your stats. Most games lock you out of content until you reach a certain gear score and level, meaning you need to grind out gear and experience in some fashion to move on in the game and progress your character. Most games allow many different avenues in collecting gear and gaining experience. You can run dungeons that may drop the gear. You can run dungeons to obtain a currency to trade in for that gear. Some games also allow you to do daily or weekly quests that eventually get you that gear. As well, some games allow you to farm certain mobs and even craft the gear that you need. In the meanwhile, doing all these activities is giving you experience to further your character's stats and level. This type of system is often referred to as a vertical progression system. Now, this system is great when you're dealing with a PvE story-driven game, much like we are all used to, right? But for a game that includes PvP, here lies the issue. This system naturally causes a gap between new players and veteran players. When a gear score becomes a necessity to progress, you're essentially time-gating the population, meaning any new player is going to have to spend a lot of time to catch up to that veteran player. And if PvP is involved and your gear is worse than your opponent, then does skill really matter? I mean, if that person has double or triple your damage, then is it even a fair fight? So, let's talk about making MMORPGs great again. Camelot Unchained has a solution for this problem, and they refer to it or call it a horizontal progression system. Now, this isn't a new topic. Some games follow this type of system, but Camelot Unchained wants to do something a bit different. So let's talk about gear, leveling, and overall progression to answer this question. First, gear will not contain stats. Well, the stats you may be thinking of. You're not going to have plus 10 agility on a sword, or plus 10 vitality on a chess piece. More or less, you're going to have stats like weight, repair, durability, and longevity. Sure, your weapons will have actual damage on them, but there's going to be a trade-off. Now, how do you obtain this gear or weapons? Crafters, of course. In this game, you need to help your crafters obtain material so they can make you better gear. There isn't a newbie-friendly zone, nor is there some type of PvE progression track system that you can follow to get gear. You need to go out in the world and help your crafters gain material so they can make you your gear. Alright, second, you're not going to gain experience from killing a player taking a keep. Well, not in the way you think. In most current MMORPGs today, every time you do something, you get rewarded instantaneously, whether it's XP, whether it's a loot box, or something of another, right? You kill something, you get XP. You actually see that XP come above your head or go in a chat box or something, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying, right? So Camelot Unchained is going to do things differently, right? So essentially, when you're in the game, killing people, taking keeps, and doing everything that you want to do to get your realm to be number one, you're not going to see the XP right away. You're actually not going to see the XP until you log off and log back in. And what this game is actually going to be doing is every time you're doing something, every time you're killing somebody, you're taking a keep, the game is recording everything that you're doing. And when you log off, it's going to basically calculate and summarize everything you do and then send you a nice little write-up next time you log in or in your email or whatever system they decide to do. And that is how your character is going to progress. You're going to get rewarded according to what you do during that play session. So for example, if you have a sword and you swing it 150 times, right? And you kill a couple people, you take a keep, and you're like, yeah, I had a great night, right? And then you log off. And then the next day you log back in. You're going to get a report and maybe a reward that says, hey, your strength went up. Because to hold a sword, you need strength. And if you use that sword over and over and over again, your strength is going to increase. And then you can use a better sword. All right. I already know I'm going to hear it. But here's where you start yelling at me and say, ah, that is where the gap is, Swiper. That's where it is. So if somebody's playing for a year and I decide to finally play this game, that person that's playing for a year is going to have significantly better gear and stats than I will, and I'm going to get my ass kicked. Right? Wrong. So according to what Camelot Unchained wants to do here is it sounds like they're going to have a soft cap on stats. So once you hit that soft cap as a player, once you hit that cap, it's going to be incredibly hard to raise that stat. Incredibly hard. I mean, we're talking months, not a month, not like a few hours of gameplay. We're talking a long time. And Mark has also stated that the significance of that increase in that stat after that soft cap won't be so significant that somebody can just look at you and kill you. That's not how this game is going to be. That's not how they want this game to be. But they also want to reward people that have been playing this game for a year. They also want you to have the option to have that stat increase. Even though it might be incredibly slow, they still want that to happen. This way, they're satisfying both ends. All right? This way, they're satisfying the new player, so I can actually compete against that person, and that person's actually still getting rewarded for playing the game. So it sounds like a pretty good system in my opinion. So to wrap up this video, will a casual player be able to compete versus a veteran player? I think so. And will you be able to play this game a few hours a week and still have fun and still be able to compete? I do think so. According to all the information that we've been given and what their goals are for this game, I think it's going to be a pretty kick-ass game. I think it's really going to work out. Now, one thing I didn't really go over were the classes and the spells and the abilities and then leveling them up, because really I don't know if that's something appropriate. In my opinion, this is a rock, paper, scissors game, right? So some classes are going to be naturally better than the others, and it's really going to be dependent upon how you build your class and what your skill level is. So do I think building your class is going to be OP versus somebody new coming in that's building their class? I don't think so, because I think a lot of these abilities are going to have trade-offs. You know, you can have a lot of damage, but maybe you don't have a lot of escape, right? And maybe you build your character with a lot of escape with less damage. You know, I think it all depends on how you build your character and the skill level. But overall, I think when it comes to stats and power and strength and things that like your DPS and your health, everything is going to be, for the most part, pretty even keel in my opinion. I think it's going to be, from what I can tell. And I think that's really going to be the driving force into getting new players or players into this game. Because let's face it, this game is strictly PvP. You know, you can't just hide away in PvE and level up your character to max and get the best gear and then run out into PvP. You're forced to do PvP once you get into this game, and that's what this game is all about. So overall, guys and gals, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. And if you want more updates regarding Camelot Unchained, please hit that subscribe button. And if I missed anything, or if you guys want to add anything to this or have any questions regarding this, please hit me up in the comments. I'd be more than happy to go ahead and answer them. Now, a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about is going off memory and some of the forums and also some of the videos that I've been watching. So I definitely may have missed something. So please let me know. The whole point of these videos is to increase awareness about this game and get more people into it and excited. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great week. See you later.